Hey guys, welcome back. BDC Car here, and we're back with a new multiplayer team, or I should say, I'm back. I'm flying solo again because someone's got final exams, and I want to say good luck to everyone who is currently in school and in the same situation. Good luck on your exams. We're doing a bit of the same old, and a bit of something new. And one of the problems we've been running into with doing multiplayer team videos is the time it takes to make one. And not just the time to film the video and do commentary, but the time that it takes to play around with the character and get comfortable with it so that we come up with a good team makeup, but also good gear loadout for the role that we want that particular character to play. And so that comes with a bit of an underlying expectation on our part, even if it's not the viewer's expectation, that we're going to be posting videos of really good teams. So the new thing in this case is we're going to throw that expectation out the window. Our starting point is not that we're going to win, it's that we're playing around with this week's multiplayer character, Arkham Origins Deadshot, and I'm going to play around with him to figure out if and how I like to play him. So this video could fit just as nicely with our how to build an MP team series of videos as it does with just the regular MP team play videos. And even though the current meta is for the specialist on team being the star of the team, we're going to start with Deadshot using a basic damage build. And you can see one potential danger in this team that we're facing is Raven, because we don't have, aside from Arkham Knight Batgirl, we don't have anybody with a good one-hit high damage special. So we're running in danger of Raven's passive doing the health swap with us twice. So we could either try to play to get Arkham Knight Batgirl her first bar power, or we can just trigger it a couple times and get through it. I think because we're demonstrating Deadshot, we're going to do that twice. And so we'll trigger it there. But I think we're good enough that we're going to be able to take her out before we run into, well, before somebody else knocks us out. But he's going to be particularly vulnerable, like that. And you can see with Deadshot's passive there with the damage that Shazam was taking on the bench. Alright, so here we go. Arkham Knight Batgirl just takes him out. So a few reasons why we're doing basic damage build on Deadshot, even though the current meta is for the star of the team being a specialist, right? So here's the first thing is not everybody can be the star in every team. You can't have everybody being a specialist. So Deadshot has this really interesting gameplay mechanic where if you do the tap combo, there's a chance that instead of doing a combo ender, he'll just continue with a potentially endless tap combo over and over again, right? He's got a multi-hit combo ender, so it's good for any gears that have a combo ender effect. So he can drain a little bit more with the overpowered super, which he's got. And his passive of splash damage works on both his combo ender as well as specials, since they both shoot bullets, right? So it's just as valid to have him as a basic damage dealer. So this team doesn't look like it's going to be particularly interesting, but we're going to play it a little differently, where to be the most effective, you're using your specialist first, because of the return of power if you knock them out. And so more about Arkham Origins Deadshot. So the second part of his passive doesn't really make much of a difference either way, right? So the fact that he can potentially drain power from the opposing team, I don't think it comes into play enough to make a difference. So his gear loadout. All right, so his overpowered super gives the 50% crit chance for a 100% crit chance on basic damage at the cost of not as much of a basic damage boost. And this doesn't look particularly difficult. He's got the other team's Deadshot is going to revive once. That's really the only significant difference. So what were we talking about? So one slot, though, to finish his crit chance to push it right up to 100%. So the other two slots can be just for basic damage with a different secondary effect. And in the current loadout we've got, he's got stun and heal on special 1 from the other two gears. And if you don't have the overpowered super, good alternative would be any other basic damage gear with a crit chance. Or instead of using the Nth Metal Morningstar or Mutated Bone Spikes, Custom Rifle gives unblockable chance, which is good. And you might have noticed, if you're watching this, there isn't an obvious tank on the team. And that's because Arkham Knight Batgirl is basically the single best supporting character on an Arkham team because her passive has a huge amount of offensive potential as well as making the entire team more tanky, right? So it's like the Blackest Night team, where Hawkgirl gives a revive to each member. Arkham Knight Batgirl does almost the same thing. You don't get the extra health, but Arkham Knight Batgirl keeps each teammate from being knocked out the first time, drops in with a high chance of stun, and the huge offensive potential comes from the typical Cloak of Destiny loadout, which we've got on her, so that she can do massive amount of damage with her special one, and a ton of splash damage. There we go. So on her, the most important piece of gear is Cloak of Destiny to magnify stun damage, and if you don't have that, maybe just focus on what you think will do the most damage when she drops in unexpectedly. So that means you could either make her a special specialist, or you could just give her lots of basic damage boosts. So Arkham Knight Catwoman, obviously, she's the special specialist with the Tantu Totem Master's Death Cart loadout to give her a couple bars of power every time she tags in. And you got lots of options for the special specialist, I think, on an Arkham team. Could be anybody, really. I happen to like Catwoman because she does a lot of damage over time. Bleeding boosts the damage that other people do. And, alright, so nothing particularly interesting with Arkham Knight Batman. Nothing difficult. He's going to either get 2 bars of power and have a chance of smoking us, or he's going to be defensive, but he's probably not going to be both. And that's the other thing, too, right? Arkham Knight Batman could be our specialist here, but and he'd really be effective in that role. But he was intentionally left off because he can solo a lot of teams on his own, and it almost doesn't make sense to put him on a team where we're trying to show Deadshot how effective he can be as a basic damage dealer. Alright, so there we go, and see lots of splash damage on the opponent's team from the bullets on the special one. One of the things when you've got Arkham Knight Catwoman is when you've got a few specials in a row and you stack up all the bleed damage over time. Bleed damage increases. Oh, there we go. Perfect example of Arkham Knight Batgirl as a tank, or as really making the whole team tanky. So the bleed damage stacks, so you do, I think, an extra 20% damage of any attack on somebody who's bleeding, and if you do 3 in a row, you can stack it each time, so that you're doing 60% damage for the small amount of time where all the specials damage over time are overlapping. Alright, so Batman Ninja, alright, so he's not geared in a way to be particularly difficult, Batman Ninja Batman. So I don't think he's going to be a particular problem. I think, really, there's, as much as I was trying to wiggle out of it and say that this was not a particularly great team, it is really good because I can't get away from trying to make it as best as I can with somebody to deal with each particular situation. Alright, so, yep, not particularly troublesome. Special specialist takes care of everything, really. And when we need him... Oh, perfect, he blocked. So that means he's going to be bleeding, and that means Deadshot's going to be doing more damage with each hit. And there we go. So nothing particularly wrong with Deadshot. I think the problem really is that the current meta does not allow for a basic damage dealer to shine. I mean, you can make a team that has a great basic damage dealer and play it that way, but you're almost always going to be faster with the special specialist loadout. So maybe it's going to be worth doing a second version of this team where we stick in Arkham Origins Deadshot as our specialist. Because really there's a lot of potential when he can do so much splash damage naturally from his passive without taking up a gear slot. Yeah, and the best strategy, really, I think, even when the other team has got starting power, unless they've got Astro Harness, and even sometimes, even if they do, just to go ahead and try to knock them out before they have a chance to use their power instead of trying to eat a special with your tank or to try to drain their power. Nice. Yeah. All right. So not bad at all. And there we go. There is our team with Arkham's Deadshot. So maybe an evaluation. He's actually really good. He's a lot of fun to play with. His he doesn't run into the same trouble that a lot of other characters do when you try to do the tap combo a lot. And the combo ender doesn't trigger often enough, because when it doesn't trigger, what we're getting is actually a continuous combo. So, thumbs up. Good guy. I think one of the dangers would be if you, because he's got the late game character's high stats, that if you promote him higher than where we've got him now, you'll end up facing a lot more Astro Harnesses and tougher matchups. But at this level, getting maximum battle points, still pretty darn good. So, that's it. Hope you like this change of pace. Let us know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Komoda.